Friday, an ordinary evening in a college town. A young woman steps out of a bar and heads home. By Saturday morning, she was supposed to wake up in her own bed. Instead, they found her on the shores of a lake, 30 miles from home. Multiple gunshot wounds, no witnesses, no signs of a struggle. Her name was Kostial. She was just 21 years old. And the most chilling part of this case isn't just what happened that night, it's who did it. Because it wasn't a stranger. It was someone she knew, someone she trusted. The police would name him as a suspect in just 24 hours. But uncovering why he did it would take 2 full years. If you agree that the most haunting stories are the ones where the danger comes not from strangers, but from those closest to us, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's break down what really happened that night at Sardis Lake. Allie grew up in a prestigious and very affluent suburb of St. Louis, Missouri. She was raised in an atmosphere of absolute love and support, was a cheerleader, excelled in her studies, and possessed a rare gift for instantly winning people over. At the university, the famous Ole Miss, absolutely everyone knew her. Allie wasn't just a marketing student. She was a leader. She was one of the founders of the Alpha Phi sorority chapter, head of the university golf club, an organizer of running marathons, worked part-time as a lifeguard, and taught yoga classes. She adored the color pink, pearls, beautiful dresses, and bright summer sunsets.
Allie, what are you doing?
Taking a picture for Sunsets by Alex. Follow.
On Friday, July 19th, Allie successfully passed another test. Around 7 in the evening, she called her mom, cheerfully talked about the exam, and shared her plans. She was going to go hang out with friends at the town's central square, where the student nightlife was buzzing. They said a warm goodbye, unaware that it would be their last conversation. That night, Oxford was filled with young people out enjoying themselves. Allie spent the evening in the company of friends, moving from one venue to another. Surveillance cameras captured her movements. At 11:52 p.m., she walks out of the popular bar Funky's, smiling, and gets into the back seat of a silver Uber minivan. Later, the police would reconstruct this route minute by minute. The taxi driver stated that he delivered the young woman right to the doorstep of her home. Allie's roommates confirmed to the detective that around midnight they heard Allie return, exchanged a few words with her in the kitchen, after which they went to their rooms and turned off the lights. But what happens next still defies logic. Deep into the night, while her friends were asleep, Allie, quietly, trying not to make noise, leaves the apartment again. And less than 12 hours later, her body is found by Sardis Lake, 30 miles away from her safe home. Arriving at the scene, investigators immediately realized that this was not a random attack or a robbery for profit. Her expensive jewelry and purse were left untouched. The main question facing the investigation was how, and most importantly, with whom did the fragile Allie end up in the middle of the night at this abandoned fishing camp? While searching Allie's room for clues, investigators ran into a serious problem. Her cell phone was nowhere to be found. It became clear that the killer had taken it with him or destroyed it to erase the history of calls, messages, and geolocation. However, on Allie's nightstand lay her Apple Watch, connected to a magnetic charger. Being within range of the home Wi-Fi, the watch had continued to work silently, synchronizing absolutely all incoming messages, notifications, and logs through a cloud server in real time. When cybersecurity experts opened this digital archive, a sinister chronicle of psychological terror that had lasted for the past 3 years unfolded before them. In Allie's correspondence, like a lingering nightmare, the exact same name kept popping up: Brandon Theesfeld, her classmate. Further analysis of cell tower data showed that during the night, Brandon Theesfeld's car moved first toward Allie's home, and then their geolocation points matched and began moving synchronously along the highway in the direction of Sardis Lake. The watch recorded the exact time of arrival at Buford Ridge, 1:14 a.m. The digital trail led police to the suspect in just a matter of hours. But now, investigators had to dive deep into these relationships to answer the question, why?
This morning, a multi-agency manhunt is underway as concern grips this small Mississippi college town. Authorities hunting for a suspect in the apparent murder of Allie Kostial. And this is what it looks like around the lake where authorities found her body. You can see a number of trees, also winding roads get you here. And I've only seen a few houses, so this area is very remote. Kostial was studying marketing at the university where the deepening mystery has classmates on edge.
It makes you want to be more careful. I go out and go to Sardis with my friends all the time. And I run around my neighborhood at nighttime. There's people out there you don't know. You feel like you can trust everybody, but maybe you can't.
While the Lafayette County Sheriff's Department is not releasing many details of the investigation, its investigators are following several leads. In a statement, the University of Mississippi offering its condolences. And it's the unknown that is adding to the sense of concern for classmates and also residents in this area that is quieter right now because most students are away for the summer. In the meantime, the Mississippi Bureau of Investigations is helping in the search for answers. Cecilia?
Okay, Marcus, such a sad story there. Thank you.
Brandon Theesfeld was 22 years old. He came to Mississippi from an elite neighborhood in Fort Worth, Texas. His father was a world-renowned, very wealthy orthopedic surgeon who owned a private clinic. Brandon grew up in an atmosphere of absolute luxury, wealth, and entitlement. He was the classic golden boy who firmly knew that any problem in this life could be solved with his father's checkbook. During interrogations, his college roommate described Brandon as a secretive, arrogant individual with a severe cocaine addiction, who regularly directed aggression toward women and bragged to his buddies, "If I get into deep shit, my dad will hire the best lawyers and get me off from anything." He and Allie met in the fall of 2016, during their freshman year. They started a romance that Allie's friends would describe as an agonizing roller coaster ride. It was a textbook toxic relationship, where Allie loved sincerely and blindly, while Brandon calculatingly exploited her feelings. She dreamed of a family, whereas he saw her merely as a convenient, dependable option. In April 2019, this fatal mechanism was set in motion. Allie sent Brandon a photo of a pregnancy test. The result was blurry, but she wrote that she was terrified she might be pregnant. Theesfeld's reaction was ruthless, no words of support whatsoever. He bluntly cut her off in a text. "If you're pregnant, we are not keeping it. This will ruin my life and my career. There will be no baby." After that, he effectively vanished. He ignored her calls and canceled meetings, leaving the young woman in a state of profound crisis. Yet, while Allie was trying to arrange a meeting, Theesfeld, as investigators discovered after examining his computer, was feverishly searching Google for completely different things. His browser history for May, June, and July revealed queries such as hollow point ammunition, where to buy a .40 caliber silencer, tactical masks, and how to kill someone silently. Furthermore, he extensively studied the biography of serial killer Ted Bundy. He was specifically interested in the exact tricks Bundy used to lure his victims to secluded locations, and how he got them to voluntarily step into his car. In early July, Brandon Theesfeld made a trip home to Texas. What he discussed with his parents remains unknown, but upon returning to Mississippi, he secretly took a semi-automatic .40 caliber Glock 22 pistol from his father's safe. The young man possessed a mindset so cynical that he posted a photo of the weapon to his Snapchat with a mocking caption, "Finally bringing my baby back home to Oxford." This very pistol would end Allie's life 2 weeks later. On July 17th, Theesfeld took the initiative for the first time in a long while and texted Allie. On July 19th, he confirmed the meeting. He demanded that she let him know as soon as she left the bar. Allie, upon receiving these texts, was certain that Brandon was finally showing maturity, that they would meet, talk about her health, and sort everything out. She believed in him until her very last breath when she got into his car on that fateful night. Saturday morning, July 20th. While the task force is processing the scene where the body was discovered by Sardis Lake, Brandon Theesfeld's name has already been entered into all databases as the prime suspect. Investigator Bundren calls his mobile phone. Brandon answers in a calm, slightly sleepy voice. The detective asks him to come to the sheriff's office voluntarily for a talk. At this point, Theesfeld switches into his usual manipulator mode. He agrees but begins to stall for time. First, he claims he drank too much the night before, feels unwell, and asks to reschedule the meeting. But detectives are already tracking his phone via satellite. His massive black Ford F-150 pickup truck is hurtling down the highway north at maximum speed, trying to cross the Mississippi state line. He is fleeing, fully aware that the police have found the body. At that very minute, a federal arrest warrant is issued and bolos are broadcast to all neighboring regions. Theesfeld's vehicle was highly conspicuous. Besides its immense size, it featured a custom Texas license plate with the provocative phrase, "Take it." Just 2 hours later, Tennessee State Police and Memphis officers box in his pickup at a roadside gas station. Brandon Theesfeld is taken into custody by SWAT. When he was pulled from the vehicle, the audio of the scene spoke volumes. Dark brown bloodstains were visible on Theesfeld's clothes, his shorts, and t-shirt. Lying beneath the seat of the pickup was that exact .40 caliber Glock pistol. Ballistic testing would yield a 100% match. All 11 shell casings recovered near the wooden table by the lake had been fired from that very weapon. During a search of his apartment, a crumpled piece of paper would be found. A letter to his parents written over the weekend. "Mom and Dad, I am a bad person. Something inside me just snapped. I have always had these horrible thoughts. I know I am going to get caught. This is the end for me. I am sorry."
And that breaking news from Lafayette County, an arrest is made in the shooting death of Ole Miss student Ali Kostial. The person behind bars is another Ole Miss student. Chief Deputy Alan Wilburn said that Brandon Theesfeld of Texas charged with Kostial's murder. Theesfeld's Facebook page lists that he is a student at the University of Mississippi. Wilburn will not go into the particulars of the case except that Brandon went before a judge this morning for his initial appearance.
In August 2019, Brandon Theesfeld was officially indicted on aggravated first-degree murder charges. Under Mississippi's strict laws, this meant only two possible outcomes: either life imprisonment without the possibility of parole or a lethal injection. The investigation and preliminary hearings dragged on for 2 long years. Theesfeld's defense, lavishly funded by his wealthy father, exploited every legal loophole available. His lawyers demanded endless forensic psychiatric evaluations in an attempt to prove that Brandon was legally insane due to a cocaine psychosis and did not understand his actions.
And in Mike, today, the defense attorneys asked for a psychological evaluation. In the meantime, the accused killer, Brandon Theesfeld, will stay in jail. The family of Ali Kostial spoke for the first time, her cousin reading a short statement in court.
We pray for strength in the coming days and are thankful for the friends, neighbors, co-workers, and many others who have supported us.
Kostial's family traveled from St. Louis to Mississippi for the hearing. Brandon Theesfeld is charged with murder. His attorney says he was going to request bond, but after he discovered new information, he decided to ask for a mental health evaluation. Outside of court, a handful of young women held signs saying justice for Ali.
It's incredibly difficult for us to have to deal with these kind of cases. And I know it's just terrible and difficult for them not only to have to deal with that kind of.
They used the pandemic to reschedule hearings and stall the process, hoping the media frenzy would die down. However, an independent medical evaluation delivered a definitive ruling. At the moment he shot Ali, Theesfeld was fully sane, aware of his actions, and understood their consequences. The prosecution's case was devastating. The cloud data, decrypted thanks to the watch, the ballistics, the blood on his clothes, and the search history regarding Ted Bundy left him no chance. On August 27, 2021, just days before the official jury trial was set to begin, Brandon Theesfeld and his attorney entered into a plea deal with the prosecution. To guaranteed avoid the death penalty, Theesfeld officially pleaded guilty to first-degree murder. The judge sentenced him to life imprisonment. The sentence included one stipulation. He would only gain the theoretical right to petition for conditional parole once he reached the full age of 65. His youth, status, money, and future as a golden boy burned away in a single night. At the hearing, Theesfeld wept and begged Allie's parents for forgiveness, but they listened to him with stony, pale faces.
There's no excuse for my actions. I have asked God for forgiveness. And I hope one day that you will find it in your heart to forgive me. I apologize to the Kostial family for my actions. I am sincerely sorry for the pain I have caused by taking out.
Allie's mother, Cindy Kostial, could not find the physical strength to look at her child's killer and speak in person. Instead, she prepared a written statement, which the prosecutor read in the absolute silence of the courtroom. Cindy wrote, "My whole life, I tried to protect my child from evil, from dark alleys, from dangerous situations. But I could not protect her from the person she trusted. Brandon, you had every opportunity in this life. You had a wonderful family, money, and education. You could have chosen the path of good, the path of creation. Instead, you chose absolute darkness. You cold-bloodedly hunted her like game and gunned her down in a remote forest. Every time the heavy iron door of your prison cell slams shut, let that sound be a reminder to you of what you did, of the life you stole from her, and of the life you took from us. You will sit within four walls, while we will spend the rest of our days learning to live in this unbearable emptiness." During a detailed review of the medical records and the results of Allie Kostial's full autopsy, investigators established a fact that completely flips the context of this entire story and makes it even more horrifying. Allie Kostial was not pregnant. The test she had sent to Brandon back in April had yielded a false positive or ambiguous result. All subsequent medical tests and analyses did not confirm the presence of a fetus. But Brandon Theesfeld did not know that. He never even tried to find out. He refused to go with her to a doctor. He refused to listen to her. He acted solely out of his primal, selfish fear for his reputation and status. Allie had spent 3 months trying to arrange a meeting not to blackmail him or demand money. She was a frightened 21-year-old girl who simply wanted to talk to the person she considered close. She was looking for support. Meanwhile, he was online studying the methods of Ted Bundy and ordering hollow point ammunition. Following Allie's death, the Ole Miss campus plunged into deep mourning. Students stood for hours outside the sorority house, lighting candles and leaving pink flowers. Her parents found the strength not to close themselves off in their terrible grief. They established the official Ally Kostial Memorial Foundation. Donations were sent to it by thousands of caring people from all over America. With these funds, a modern yoga and Pilates studio named in honor of Allie Kostial was fully upgraded inside the campus's South Fitness Center, the exact place where she once smiled, taught classes, and helped others become stronger. Today, the foundation continues to support students facing difficult psychological situations. The Apple Watch left charging on the wooden nightstand in the empty room became the prosecution's main silent witness. It preserved the truth that the killer tried to destroy along with the phone, and it helped justice prevail before the criminal could completely get away. Brandon Theesfeld is currently serving his life sentence, while Allie remains 21 forever. Allie was madly in love with the sunsets and kept a separate social media account where she posted nothing but photos of the sky. Her friends shared that they now have a tradition on campus. Every summer, As the sun dips below the horizon and the Mississippi sky turns a vibrant pink, they step out onto the porch, look up, and quietly say, "Hi, Allie." They believe that her pure soul dissolved into that heavenly beauty, which can never be destroyed. Remember her exactly like that.